Man's Search for Meaning is Viktor Frankl's profound psychological memoir about surviving Nazi concentration camps and the lessons he drew from it on human purpose. Combining personal experience with his therapeutic philosophy called logotherapy, which Frankl presents a powerful argument, even in the most brutal and dehumanizing conditions. Life holds meaning, and humans can endure almost anything if they understand their purpose. Part 1. Experiences in a concentration camp. Frankl begins by recounting his imprisonment in Auschwitz and other camps during World War II. Stripped of everything which is his family, freedom, possessions, identity, he observes how extreme suffering reveals the deeper layers of human nature. Prisoners existed on the brink of starvation, violence, and death, yet Frankl noticed that they reacted differently depending on their mindset. The psychological stages of camp life. He describes 3 main psychological phases. 1. Shock upon arrival. Prisoners felt disbelief and numbness as they faced selections, brutal work, and constant fear. 2. They endured beatings, cold, hunger, and random cruelty with a hardened attachment. 3. Depersonalization and disillusionment after liberation. When the camps were finally liberated, many inmates struggled to reconnect with normal life. Freedom felt surreal, and many wrestled with anger, emptiness, or moral confusion. Frankl emphasizes that suffering in the camps was not only physical, but deeply psychological. What determined survival was not strength or intelligence, but it was meaning, or what he calls the why of one's life. Those who had a reason to endure love for a family member, a future goal, a sense of duty, were far more likely to survive. Frankl's own meaning came from 2 powerful sources: his love for his wife, whom he imagined talking to and hoping to see again, his unfinished book outlining the principles of logotherapy. These visions gave him mental freedom and spiritual dignity despite his physical captivity. Frankl stresses that the Nazis could control his body, but not his inner world. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, he writes, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Frankl argues that suffering is an unavoidable part of life, but it can still be meaningful. People suffer differently, but everyone can choose how to face their struggle. This attitudinal value shaping one's response to uncontrollable pain is, in Frankl's view, one of humanity's greatest powers. He also rejects the idea that life's meaning comes from pleasure or power. Instead, meaning emerges when individuals take responsibility for a task they must complete, someone they love, a courageous stance towards suffering. Thus, even in the concentration camps, Frankl saw that humans could find inner purpose and maintain a moral sense, despite the surrounding brutality. Part 2. Logotherapy in a nutshell. The second part of the book introduces logotherapy, Frankl's therapeutic approach centered on the search for meaning. Frankl opposes Freud's idea of the will to pleasure and Adler's will to power. Instead, he asserts that humans are fundamentally driven by a will to meaning. When people cannot find meaning, they face an existential vacuum, which leads to depression, addiction, aggression, or apathy. 3 sources of meaning. According to logotherapy, individuals discover meaning in 3 ways. Creative values. What you give to the world. Example: work, art, innovation, contribution, experiential values. What you experience from the world. Example: love, nature, beauty, relationships. Attitudinal values. How you respond to unavoidable suffering. Example: courage, dignity, resilience. The third type is the most unique because it allows meaning even in situations where no change is possible, such as terminal illness or imprisonment. Frankl emphasizes that freedom without responsibility leads to emptiness. Meaning arises when individuals accept responsibility for their choices and recognize that every moment asks something of them. Instead of asking what we expect from life, Frankl argues we should ask, what does life expect from us? Logotherapy therefore helps people reconnect with future-oriented purpose. Frankl introduces the concept of tragic optimism, the ability to maintain hope and find meaning despite the tragic triad of life: pain, guilt, death. It's not about denying suffering, but transforming it.